We're good.
I
We
like
also
the
provided
relaxed.
entertainment.
Yeah, I like the relaxed.
We're
All right. Hello. Welcome, everybody. I am Mel McMath Carbuccia. Haven't decided which name I'm going with. And here with me today is going to be our awesome guru alchemist, Joseph Zenner. So we're going to be fusing a little bit of raw food with essential oils and creating some really cool blended experiences today. So thanks for joining us, and on with the show.
So I think the two main things we're going to do today, we're going to keep it as brief as we can, but we're going to make a chocolate pudding with avocados. We're going to throw a little cinnamon in there, a little frankincense is the secret ingredient today. So it's going to be frankincense chocolate avocado pudding. And then we're going to make a pheromone activation blend. We can rename it today, but the blends I've made in the past I call so we're going to activate some pheromones and put all those things together and such. But you're going to show us how to basically
Avocado base.
puddingize avocados.
Okay, we ready for this? So we're going to start with 4 organic avocados, guys. Organic avocados. Okay. Super fancy knife. That's not necessary, but it is more fun. Okay, so we like to cut them down the halves so that when you pull them apart, you end up with one side with the seed and the other side no seed. And you use a spoon to just scoop it out. Sometimes people like to do this business to pull out the seed, which is smash and twist. I like to use my fingers.
Have you ever heard that if you put the seed back into your guacamole or whatever you make with avocados, it doesn't turn it brown?
Yeah, it works.
It
works.
does
I haven't
work.
tried it. I've just recently heard
You can
about
also
that.
spray pan outside the avocados or
Yeah.
lemon juice.
It's the oils, yeah, the oils from that, along with the actual acidity in an avocado pit. But I don't particularly love it because it has a very bitter taste, and there's
Oh,
no
really?
hiding from it. Yeah.
Well,
So
the beauty of making chocolate pudding is we don't really care if avocados go brown,
right, that's the best part of avocado pudding. It stays for a lot longer. Good point. Okay.
Let me throw it in the seed.
So yeah, that'd be great. And then I'm gonna grab a spoon.
So we have cacao we're using today. We have Sun Food Superfoods, organic
Sunfood
cacao powder.
superfoods. Yes.
And remember, the spelling of cacao is very important. Apparently, when you bastardize cacao, you spell it cocoa, or
Cocoa.
C-O-C-O-A.
Like
or-
Hershey's cocoa.
That is not what you want.
That is
You
not
want
what you
the real deal cacao, C-A-C-A-O powder.
It's so that the only ingredient, there should only be one ingredient, and it should be purely cacao.
Yeah.
I like Sun Foods. They have good morals and values, which to me is really important because it determines the product that comes through. Because energetically speaking, you get all that. It all becomes part of your food. So I like to, for example, I pray over my food. I feel like that's really important.
You ever yum your food?
Yum?
Yeah. Watch, check it out. Yum.
It's not like oh.
Yeah, but it yums up your food. It works.
Yums it. I'm gonna try that. We're gonna try that now. Can I get everybody's help? Yum.
You
Awesome.
can taste it tasting better already.
I do. I can smell it. My nose is
And
stuffed.
for those that haven't played with cacao beans, this is what cacao beans look like. Much like coffee beans. These are actually from Ecuador, from my trip to Ecuador in Christmas time.
Woohoo.
But yeah, cacao is a super food. I mean, amazing for all kind of things. Energy, vitality, romance enhancement, blood pressure, all things blood related actually. But what do people do with it? They add dairy and sugar until it's not so great for you anymore.
Great.
Some people do. I should say.
Dairy, sugar, a lot of immune issues there. Mainly, we don't have the enzymes needed to digest those things properly. And when we add, especially the dairy part, we don't have the proper enzymes. So what happens there is our bodies try to make up for it by protecting ourselves and basically creates mucus to protect our bodies from it. So it's not really that beneficial. Now, if you can get raw dairy, which is illegal, people, very illegal. So crazy. I was talking
Yeah, that's what our
to-
government's spending money on, raiding raw dairy farms.
Right.
That's where I want my tax dollars
Mind
to
you,
go.
today, guess what I saw on the way here?
What's up?
I have a friend, a very best friend. Her name is Elaine Muggaman. She's awesome. And we were riding, and she is she used to be in the military in Afghanistan for a while. And she noticed up in the air, I never would have noticed because I'm just a civilian, I don't know. But there were 4 huge, like, military helicopters. She's like, what's going on? She's like, that's not a training. The training is 1. She's like, 4 in a row. She's like, something's up. She's like, I wonder what's going on. She almost like pulled off. I was like, I have a class to teach. I'm very curious too because I don't want to die anytime soon, but we need to keep driving. So, but she was very, very curious about that. So I'm kind of wondering if anybody knows, message us with the answer. Okay. Anyway.
Word. So we're gonna. So the thing about
Can we
cacao
open
is
it
it's
now?
gonna be really bitter. So we need to balance. You could balance with honey or stevia, but today we're using like organic cane sugar.
Coconut sugar, actually.
Oh, nice.
Coconut sugar over cane sugar.
Oh,
Although cane sugar is awesome if you can get it raw and like juice it yourself. Because what happens, which is really hard to do, we can't even do it in our juicer. We'd have to order a special juicer for it because it's so tough and fibrous. But raw cane sugar has the proper enzymes so that your body doesn't go into a high glycemic spike. And then it also has a lot of enzymes that actually helps to repair the system and break down a lot of the mineral content that's in it in order for your body to use to heal itself. Unfortunately, that's not what we get when we buy sugar. So we get coconut sugar because even within the processing of it, it has a low glycemic index, so it doesn't spike the blood sugar and all that kind of stuff. So we prefer this, and it kind of tastes like brown sugar, which is awesome because I love things that taste like brown sugar. So when you add it to anything, it almost gives it a caramelized flavor. Caramel is my favorite.
I use
Over
that in
just
my
sugar.
coffee.
Absolutely, that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
That's what I do with coffee.
You probably know the correct name of it. It's something like lacanta. It's a sugar I just found. It's supposed to have no glycemic
Huh.
spike.
Is it a sugar or is it
It's a plant.
like a
It comes from a
plant?
plant,
So
yeah.
herb, kind of like
I'll have to look
stevia.
into that one more. Yeah.
Okay, because like stevia, for example, doesn't actually have any sugars in it at all. They just call it a sugar because it's got
It's sweet.
sweet flavoring.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, I would imagine, but
Okay.
it tastes kind of cotton candy. It's interesting.
Oh, so like candy sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Lacanta. We'll look it up. We'll add it to our list. Okay, so I basically added 4 avocados, and then I'm not going to add this much sugar. I'll probably add maybe 1/4 of a cup of the sugar, and then we'll add more once we all taste
Yeah,
it. If we
the
need
whole
it.
key is to balance
Yeah.
the bitter and the sweet. And
But you don't want it
You
too
don't have to
sweet,
make
but
it right
maybe
the
you
first
do
time.
because you're making it for babies who've been eating Pop-Tarts for breakfast. I don't know. So, okay, this is what we're adding. Okay, so we're going to go about 1/4 of a cup. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, thank you. I like to use my fingers. Okay. 1/4 of a cup of sugar. And then we're going to go with about 1/4 of a cup of cacao powder as well. Which is going to be like 4 tablespoons. 1, 2.
So in terms of using essential oils, truly less is more is in play. I mean, you can really kill a whole recipe with overdoing essential oils. And today, especially the frankincense, we want the frankincense to be super, super subtle. Like when I first started making holy waters, making frankincense, I like it really strong, but I was turning off everyone in the class. They were like, wow, that's strong. And so what I realized was like, for a gallon jug, let's say, I wouldn't put more than 2 drops of frankincense now. And it's really an undertone. It's like, underneath tone. It's not like in your face. It's how most people would prefer it. For my own personal, I still go pretty heavy. Because I drink it straight. I mean,
Yeah, I bet you
I do like that too. And it's like when I used to do my radio show, I had trouble focusing,
do. Yeah.
and frankincense just dials me in. Does anyone want to do it straight?
Yeah.
He's in. He's in.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you want to do 1/2 a cup of coconut milk or almond milk. Almond breeze is
2
pretty
drops.
good.
That's strong.
Just try not to.
So you try to do it under your tongue or just on
So
it?
almond breeze is pretty good. I like the unsweetened
Underworks.
vanilla since we are adding our own sugar content to it. And so basically, once those things are in there, and you basically want it so that it should definitely not put the lid in there.
Oh, here. Do some oil in
Oh yeah, you want to go
How
ahead and
much
add
almond
them?
milk
there too.
did
Okay,
you
so
use?
I'm gonna do 2
1/2 a
drops
cup.
of frankincense. Hold on one sec. And then
2 drops.
these little things. If you have these little bottles, the way to do it is just tap. And each one is
3,
1/3
4,
of a
5.
tap.
Okay.
You want a little bit, yeah. So about 2 drops of each.
Okay.
Because each tap is 1/3 of a drop.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I would pass this cinnamon around. But I fear y'all might get angry with me if you knew what cinnamon. Like cinnamon is really, really hot, so it can burn you like oregano would. It can even burn your hands. Some people are more sensitive than others. I don't want to pass it around, but there's cinnamon all on the outside. So I'm going to pass this one around. Earlier we did one called Determination. This one's called Life Unlimited. This one has frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood.
So I did half a cup
this
of
one's
cacao.
Did you name them yourself?
super yummy.
Fourth of a cup. It should have
these
been
are
a half
blends
a
that
cup
I
of
play with.
cacao. So,
But I mean,
sorry about
and
that.
you know the life of the
But I'm gonna fix it now.
formula.
Yeah.
I love the names though. I
Yeah.
love names.
and if you want it more
I do have to
chocolatey,
come up
more
with a lot of
dense,
names.
you can
Okay.
do that.
Sorry. I'll behave now.
Oh no, it's
So
okay.
you
I
tasted
was,
it and it wasn't quite
it was-
chocolatey?
yeah, I thought it was a fourth of a cup of cacao, but I remembered then it was half a cup of cacao. So then I looked at my recipe and I realized that was wrong. So I
Yeah, so you
added
can tell from
the
the color.
other half a cup. Yeah, so you can see the color too. That is really helpful. See how green it still is? That means it's going to be less cacao tasting, and you can do it as dark chocolate as you want. So it can be pretty dark, you know. Okay. So, and I don't know if you guys are working with Vitamixes at home or any kind of blender, but you always want to start on the lowest first and get it going, and then increment up. Because if you blast straight to as high as it'll go, it'll basically jump out, and then it won't resync, and then you have to stop it, and you have to tamper it down. It's really pain in the butt.
And while we're doing that, I'm going to pass this one around. This is what we're going to be blending next. This is the previous blend that I made called the Romance Enhancer. So I want you to save a wrist for later. But you can use one wrist now if you're willing. And the key is to smell a male versus a female, because we're activating pheromones, and so it's going to smell totally different on a male-female, and then the bottle itself will be a third completely different smell as well. And by the way, the whole thing about chemistry and, I'm attracted to that person. There's so much chemistry, and that's pheromones, right? But pheromones are based on what DNA-wise would make a very pretty and a very healthy baby. It has nothing to do with whether the mom and the dad would actually get along in any way. The chemical attraction we have towards each other due to pheromones is based on what DNA is really wanting to learn. Like DNA wants to combine in a way that life will proliferate. You want the baby to be pretty and healthy. And sometimes the parents actually get along. Coincidentally. And while she's doing that,
So occasionally, they're just thicker than others. Some avocados are creamier than others. So this is requiring more milk in order to even get going. So I like to add it in by the tablespoon. Anything more than that, you'll get like super liquidy a little too fast. So just teaching you guys how to work with it. Cool.
turn into a shake on here.
Right, which is not pudding at all. 1, 2, go ahead.
So I just want to read a touch about frankincense. This is, by the way, the front cover of my book came off, but it's called Emotional Healing with Essential Oils, Daniel McDonald. So frankincense is the oil of truth. And it makes sense, right? It's like when you smell frankincense, doesn't it smell like truth? It smells like confession to me.
Isn't that
I
what
don't
they
wanna
swing
lie
around
around
in
it.
the Catholic Church?
Yeah, exactly. Like even when I smell frankincense, like you just want to tell the truth. So it reveals deceptions and false truths. It invites individuals to let go of lower vibrations, lies, deceptions, and negativity. Creates new perspectives based on light and truth. It recalls to memory spiritual understanding, gifts, wisdom, and knowledge the soul brought into the world. So cinnamon is the oil of sexual harmony. So our chocolate pudding today is based on truth and sexual harmony.
Oh.
I was thinking any better than that, right? Isn't that what all chocolate pudding should be based on?
Right? I guess so.
So cinnamon strongly supports the reproductive system and helps heal sexual issues.
What is this?
Cinnamon also assists
Cinnamon.
individuals in relationships where insecurities are shown by jealousy or control. It encourages the soul to let go of control and allow others to be free. It can nurture strong relationships based on mutual love and respect. Where there are other insecurities covered by pretense, facade, and pride, cinnamon invites individuals to be honest and vulnerable, thereby letting true intimacy flourish. Some people could touch it and it would be no big deal. Others might touch the cinnamon and it burn their skin. So
Pudding,
just being very careful.
consistency,
Super cheap.
Nice.
but I can't smell it. Does it smell fragrant really enough for what we
Oh, it
wanted?
smells delightful.
Can you smell the herbs?
Oh yeah. I don't know that we have enough cinnamon. Some,
I love it.
Oh, wow. Well, luckily for you, we use Ceylon cinnamon.
oh,
I love
nice. Yeah, let's put a little bit of that too.
Oh.
Wait, I don't know about Ceylon.
Yeah, so
This is
cinnamon
like
is really
yeast
good for
cinnamon.
diabetes,
You learned this
but it's
from you.
only saline cinnamon. It's not just generic any cinnamon.
CEYLON.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That is exactly right.
Yeah, and the reason, yeah, so you really want to use that cinnamon if you're
Yeah.
using it for diabetes and whatnot.
Right.
That's
So
the-
one of
that's
the
the
reasons
real deal.
is there's a compound, which is one of the flavors, which is why you can smell the difference between them.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, and this is why I probably should have done my research before so I could written it down. But it's that particular tannin or component that actually creates the ability to reduce insulin from spiking. So it is the only cinnamon. So because of that, you'll find that Ceylon regular cinnamon is about maybe $2 a pound. You know, it's very inexpensive. You can get the big old jugs for $5. Ceylon cinnamon is $20 a pound. So
Do you find-
It's super fine.
Really soft. Like it's almost like.
Do you find you
Yeah.
can use less of it because it's like more powerful? Because that smells more strong than any cinnamon I've ever tried. So strong.
but yes, but because I'm looking for the same benefits, I like to just pack a punch.
Bring it.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a little bit of this, if that's okay with you. Now, how much
Sure.
of this cinnamon to the reduction of this that we're gonna use do you
We're
think?
Cajuns. We're gonna wing it.
Okay, cool. We're gonna go with a full teaspoon, full teaspoon of cinnamon in this,
I don't think anybody's gonna
Batch.
be turned off by too much cinnamon.
right? No, anybody? You could add anise too. Anise also benefits the flavors of cinnamon and complements the flavor, the smell and texture as well. Come on in. Here's Elaine, who I was telling you about earlier in my story. I was giving everybody the information about the yeah, look right here, about the choppers.
Thank you. Yep, that was a bit weird.
Okay, so you want to give her a quick recap?
Sure. So your quick recap. We're making two things today. We're starting with chocolate avocado cinnamon frankincense pudding.
Oh, wow.
And then we're moving into the pheromone activation, and we're going to make a blend of romance enhancement. So we pass this around. By the way, did you smell a male's? You need to borrow my wrist?
I would love to borrow your wrist.
Okay, so if you want to put that on your wrist.
Can you
What?
give it a second? Or?
No, it's good. Do you smell the difference? So smell yours, and smell mine. You smell the bottle, it'll be a third different smell because of the pheromones activating. So it's going to be different female to female and much different male to female. Did y'all catch that?
Yeah.
All right.
So we're going to make a blend. And by the way, the blend we make is not going to smell like this because, for one, I don't remember exactly how I made this. But for two, even if I did, the beautiful thing about essential oils is the order matters. So if you take an ounce or a milliliter of peppermint, a milliliter of lavender, a milliliter of lemon, and blend them in different orders, like let's say you split them, each of those milliliters into half milliliters and then blend it in different orders, you're going to create completely different compounds. It's going to smell different, have different molecular structure, all that. So that literally means there's infinite possibilities when you're blending. And if you're going to make a blend that you think you might love, you got to not only remember the...
skins.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was cleaning up.
It's okay.
I can
Good
wash
job.
them.
No, it's good. We're just gonna eat them out of these cute little silver bowls. I'm listening though. Continue.
Yeah, so there's infinite possibilities in what you can make, and if you're going to make something that you really love, you want to not only write down the recipe of what you put in, but the order in which you added it. And even like whether it dripped down the side of the glass or went down to the, like, everything matters. So realistically, you can't really create the same oil blend again. If I didn't get close.
It's not super sweet, but I think it's good.
We probably don't have a whole lot of sweet lovers here. Does
Right?
anyone like super
Yeah?
sweet?
Okay, no. Good. Then it's gonna be awesome. I love it. Man, it's good. Oh, man, it's good. All right. Look how creamy that is.
That definitely came out looking like pudding.
Looks like Jell-O pudding from back when I was a kid.
Nice. Yeah, and we've fooled many a 2- and 3-year-olds with this pudding recipe, and
For sure.
that's how you know if your food's good, by the way. Give it to a 2- or 3-year-old, they ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be polite. They'll eat it if it's good, and they
Very
won't if it
picky
ain't.
palate, yeah.
All right.
Spoons.
Spoons.
I should have remembered from your picture to save those avocado skins. I forgot about that.
I know, because I was like, oh, that's exactly what I want to make for the class.
Nice.
Okay.
So this works.
So, I like to do interesting things with it as well. For example, sometimes I'll add a little bit of rosemary to it in the blending process, and that comes out super delish.
That's interesting.
It's a cacao.
There we go. Okay. So, here you go, Joseph.
Oh, thank you much.
Mmm.
Okay, so you are going to take over being the emotional lady, right?
Okay, I
You're
can
going to read
be
the
emotional.
emotions, and we're going to go through. I can be emotional.
So we're going to talk first about cinnamon. Didn't you just say all this?
Yeah, cinnamon we covered. So,
Okay.
so we are going to put cinnamon in the blend, but we already covered that one. Let's go
Okay.
to good old clary sage now.
Ooh, clary sage. Perfect. Okay. Clary sage assists individuals in changing their perceptions, encourages to see the truth. Oh, how many times does that happen? We like want to tell the truth, be the truth, blah, blah, but we can't see it. It snaps us in the nose. Okay, so being able to see the truth. One of the finest oils for the brow chakra, which is also called the Ajna chakra. We just had that event recently. Super great for clarity, intuition, being able to see and perceive things properly. Dispels darkness and illusion, helping to see the limiting self-belief systems that we have in place. So helping us to break through that like programming that we have every day. It can assist during healing crisis and a drastic change of perspective. It opens the soul to new possibilities and experiences. Teaches the spirit on how to use divinely given gifts and the capacity and helpful in clarifying spiritual vision. It assists in developing gift of discernment and invites individuals to expand their vision and accept the reality of the spiritual world that does exist all around us. And I love that this is it because of the people that we have here today.
I know.
Clairvoyant, amazing person who's able to see the truth in every aspect. It's like so incredible, but very grounded still. And then Elaine, who's just coming into her super awakening moment.
Yeah, the other thing
Oh,
clary
really
sage
cool.
is amazing for is the monthly moon cycle. I mean, this is if PMS is an issue for you, this should be your best friend.
Right now.
Clary
I'm
sage
having
is
this.
huge.
Look at this. It is
Well,
so
we're passing it around. Oh no, I lied. We already passed clary sage around. This is Roman chamomile coming around, which happens to be my favorite oil currently.
That's my current favorite oil.
Nice. And
Put it in everything.
it's the oil. So if it's your favorite oil, and this is what we teach about oils, loves and resistances are what to look at. Neutralities and likes, it's just not maybe for us right now. But on the emotional healing side, loves and
If anybody wants to scrounge the bottom of this,
indeed.
more than welcome.
So Roman chamomile is about spiritual purpose,
Ooh,
coming into your spiritual
this
purpose.
sounds like
Wait, which one?
one that we need.
Roman chamomile,
Roman chamomile.
one that just came around.
This is everything we've been going through.
Spiritual purpose.
Anyway,
I'm just going to stick this in my nostril and leave it
do
there.
it. You should just leave it there forever. Okay, Roman chamomile supports an individual in discovering their true life's purpose. Regardless of what they do for a living, chamomile helps them find a purpose and meaning in their lives. As individuals live from the center of their beings, find a power and purpose that is indescribable. I'd say that is so true.
So I didn't use all the Roman chamomile because when someone's that attracted to the oil, it becomes theirs.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yes.
All I had to do was add a little bit less to the blend, so now you got some Roman
Yes.
chamomile to take home.
I didn't get to smell it though. Oh, wow. Tears to the eyes already.
Stop,
Nice.
y'all.
That's how Roman chamomile do.
It is us.
I just got out of a sweat. There's gonna be a lot of tears for nothing right now.
Oh, there's sweats in Lafayette now?
They're actually in Mandeville, which is the other one. Yeah, my partner threw it.
That's what's up.
But we're gonna start having them here. So
I love
yeah,
sweats.
we're working on that. Okay. Yes, it's an incredible experience.
For those that don't know, sweats is just you get into this.
Sweat lodge.
Yeah, they look all different, but you basically
Yeah.
cover it and you put like some.
Hot stones,
The stones, and
pour
you
some
just-
water and prayers.
You go to the 4 directions. Is that how y'all do it too?
Yeah,
You go to
you
the 4
go
directions, and man, it's powerful.
It is super, super powerful. Okay, obviously.
Don't mind me while I sit over here and boo-hoo for a little.
The class is called Emotional Healing.
Word, we're there.
We're there. Mission, we're pretty effective.
I've been here for 5 minutes.
Okay, chamomile softens the personality, easing the overactive ego mind. Here you go, Nina. It restores one's confidence to do what they came here to do, because we are all here for different purposes and everything else. So, thank you. Oh, yeah, lavender. That really does smell like a true lavender. This brand is called Ameo. I just have to show you guys. Ameo. It's so, so, so good.
Yeah, it's yummy.
It's like, it smells like the pure, like if you blended the whole thing together. Like, you know, sometimes you get like just the flower and it's like, got that weird tinge to it, or it's like, you can tell they had way too much stem to it or something. Like, anyway. Okay. So it restores one's confidence to do what they came here to do. It works like a guardian angel. Chamomile leads the soul to where it needs to be and what it needs to be doing. It assists the person in shedding the meaningless activities that consume their lives so they can focus on a more fulfilling work. Even the work of their own souls. Chamomile assists in feeling connected and supported by divine helpers and guides. It calms insecurities about one's spiritual path. People fear and believe that if they do what they love, they will end up destitute. Chamomile says, do what you love and everything will be a success. Yes! Which is actually the advice that she's given me. It's advice that you've given me. You've been the most on that one.
These are prayers. You know, do y'all
These
get
are
that? Like these are like
prayers.
little
These are
prayers
intentions,
that
yes.
these plants have. And by the way, this is not the healing of Roman chamomile oil. These are trees. You know, like these are plant healings. These aren't like just the oils you can use.
So is that edible? Like, could I
Absolutely.
make a pudding out of that?
Yeah.
like chamomile tea, right?
Yeah, if you're using a good company, you know, Ameo's my current favorite and the one I endorse, but doTERRA's an amazing company, Young Living's an amazing company. If you're using good oils, you know, you can consume the ones they say are safe. There's going to be some oils like citronella or camphor that no oil company should say that those are safe to consume.
Right. Super poisonous.
What I recommend though is don't just assume that if it's at a health food store that it's a quality oil. Whole Foods has some of the worst. Sorry, Whole Foods. Get your act together. I don't want to say that.
Get it together, guys.
But yeah, so if an oil says it's not consumable, the question is why. And by the way, if you're going to consume oils, don't believe me. Don't believe anything I say. Do your own research. You know, like there's some aromatherapy schools that are teaching don't consume oils. But I think that's old. That's old technology. I mean, that's not old technology. That's old information. Because before Young Living came around and started to really clean up the act of the essential oil industry, you know, you never knew what you were getting. And when you have a pesticide, herbicide, fungicide attached to an essential oil molecule, that essential oil goes through the cell. You know, it gets passed through the cell membrane because of what it is, but now it's tagging along with some pesticide, and so funky oils are worse for you than no oils. Rant over. Okay.
Ameo, you said is the other brand?
Ameo's the oil I use, but doTERRA, Young Living are both good oils. There's a little bit of differences between them. Young Living grows most of their stuff in Utah. They call it seed to bottle. I'm more of indigenous. I like indigenous. doTERRA and Ameo indigenous. They grow all over the place. Young Living has started to branch out and grow indigenous again. I think they realized they made a mistake when they did that. This is another one of my current favorites. So this is geranium.
I need all of the avocado pudding ever.
So do y'all see the theme that's being created for this romance blend, right? We've got sexual harmony, we've got spiritual purpose, we've got love and trust, What else we put in there? Clarity and vision for Claire's stage. So yeah.
So it's really more than just like sexual union. It's like really partnership union. Like
Spiritual.
wow, spiritual union. It's powerful stuff. So exciting. Okay, geranium restores confidence in the innate goodness of others and in the world. Facilitates trust, which I feel like is so needing right now. The whole world, right? We all distrust everybody, which causes you to behave in a distrusting way. Like it's just a big cycle. Okay. So facilitates trust, especially when an individual has lost trust in others due to difficult life circumstances, which is where that comes from. It assists in reestablishing a strong bond to one's mother and father. When there's been a loss of trust in relationship, geranium encourages emotional honesty, love, and forgiveness, fosters receptivity to human love and connection. Geranium heals the broken heart and encourages emotional honesty by facilitating the emergence of grief or pain that has been suppressed. So you can expect some kind of reaction when you have it. Elaine, take it easy.
She made it through. It went all the way around. She was fine.
Oh, geranium softens anger and assists in healing emotional wounds. It reassists in reopening the heart so that love may flow freely. It can be called the emotional healer. Geranium is a gentle oil, perfect for babies and children. Nurtures the inner child and supports in reparenting this aspect of the self, which I think is really great because it's like we are in charge of like re-raising ourselves after we've learned all the things that maybe mom and dad missed.
In charge of unlearning.
That's
right,
good. That's
of
a good way to
unlearning,
put it right
exactly. The individual who has difficult time accessing emotions can be supported by geranium. As it leads away from the logical mind into the warmth and nurture of the heart. At its root, geranium heals the heart, instills unconditional love, and fosters trust. I need all of these, and we're putting them in a blend.
So there's one thing missing, right? We've got all this heavy stuff. We've got love, trust, vision, sexual harmony, but we're missing the playfulness.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Enter
Fun.
lang lang.
Lang lang.
So yeah, we need the childlike innocence, the playfulness, the wrestling, the romantic wrestling. Y'all romantically wrestle, right? I'm not the only one. I dated a girl.
I'm gonna add that to my list of things to do.
I dated a girl from Colombia, and she did Krav Maga, which is like the martial arts of the Israeli self-defense or Israeli military, whatever. Badass stuff. And yeah, I went to training with her, and she would just attack me and put me on the ground. I was just so turned on. I was like, yeah, my girl can defend herself. It was just so, I don't know.
Okay,
Tangent.
lang lang is one of the tricky ones. Starts with a Y. Looking in the L's for it. Krav Maga. Okay. So, lang lang is a powerful remedy for heart. Modern day society honors and reveres the mind over the heart, yet the heart, with its intuitive ways of receiving information, is the essential part of the soul. Lang lang, actually, really interesting little tidbit of information that I found out about the heart and the mind, the brain. The heart actually sends more pulses electrically within its nervous system to the brain than the brain does to the heart. So it actually sends, you detect everything from your heart at a minimum of 6 seconds. That's just because that's where they set the study to be done at, was a 6-second interval. But the heart detects it first up to 6 seconds ahead of time, then sends the pulses to the brain, and the brain then sends it to the rest of the body to tell the body how to react, including the heart. So the heart doesn't decide even how to act, it just sends the pulses straight up, and then the brain says, okay, pulse at this rate, do this, do that, externalize. I thought that was really interesting.
That is cool.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some studies that the heart is what actually is doing more of the thinking, and it's in control, and the brain is more like an antenna or
Yeah.
receptor.
Which is why whenever we do something intuitive, I'm finding if I just like really quickly respond, it's like the right answer. And if I wait and I think about it, I'm like, oh man, I was gonna say that, or I was gonna do that, or whatever. So that's interesting.
And that's called a
Learn so
gut
much
feeling,
from you.
and it turns out they're finding out there's intelligence in the gut. you
Oh
know?
my God, totally, because your bacteria in your gut connects with the person closest to you.
So they're finding that
So weird.
people can, if you're sick, or if you have like some kind of virus or whatever, if your gut bacteria is similar to the person next to you, you're more likely to catch it because your bacteria will communicate, and then somehow through transformation of breath or whatever, it'll be more likely that you'll like have already created a like space in your gut for that bacteria to enter and interact. So when you see somebody sick, just don't even talk to them. Tell them to stay far away. Okay. Lang Lang reconnects an individual with the child self and the pure, simple ways of the heart. It encourages play and restores like a child, nature, and a childlike nature and innocence. It assists in accessing intuition or heart knowing. Lang Lang is a powerful, powerful remedy for releasing emotional trauma from the past. It's a fantastic support in age regression work and other methods of emotional healing. It also assists individuals in releasing bottled up emotions such as anger and sadness. Feelings that have been buried inside are easily brought to light through Lang Lang's assistance. This allows emotional healing to flow naturally, nurturing the heart through the process. It reminds individuals that joy can be felt and experienced more fully by allowing the heart its full range of emotions.
Nice.
Oh my god, I'm
Good
so
stuff.
excited about this mix. So this is the order that it should be put in. Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, this is the order we did it this time. It could be different
Okay.
next time. It'll be different. It'll be differently wonderful, you know?
Okay.
So, because I did add a decent amount of cinnamon, it's, you know, it's your decision whether you want to try it on your face. You might want to try it on your skin. It shouldn't hurt this. It definitely won't hurt this in my experience. But there's a lot of water in here to dilute. There's a lot of other oils. I put it on my face just to test it. It's not hurting me at all, but use, you know, at your own discretion. If it burns a little bit, it's not going to be the end of the
Coconut
world.
oil? What's your take on using coconut oil as the mixer?
Sure, if it's fractionated. Oh, now my face is burning a little bit, so yeah. But right before you sprayed it. So
Awesome.
you can put it on
Just
your,
see what happens.
yeah, I mean, it just, to me, it's nice. Like, I drink cinnamon in my water, and it burns my lips, but it's a yummy burn. So, like, that's your own decision when you
Yummy.
want to do
Oh,
that.
so did everybody taste our yummy in that mix that we made? Right, taste the yummy? We did a yummy.
Yeah, did y'all
yum.
taste the yum?
He goes, I like to do a yum. Yum.
Oh yeah.
Cool. And I drank it, too. If anyone wants to drink it, it's very strong, but you can spray it right in your mouth if you want to try it.
I'm gonna try that.
So go for it. It's going to taste very
Wow,
much
I feel
like
it.
a tree.
Here.
Yeah,
Whoa.
That may burn your face, but
face too. get it
Okay, now I feel
Very
it burning
strong,
my
right?
face.
yeah.
Great.
Put it in your mouth.
But it heats up, and there's nothing, you know,
Yeah, it
like
got
now
a blast.
oregano,
Yeah.
in terms of hot oils, oregano is one to be careful with. Oregano will,
That's what
oregano
I have
will
to do
tear
it
you up.
close. Real
Yeah.
close.
So we had the disclaimer, and it, you know, if it burns a little bit, it should be fine. It'll wear off in a moment, but so
Good.
now we know. And if you don't want it to burn that way, especially if you're going to use this oil in sensitive areas, wink, wink, less cinnamon, way less cinnamon. I put a lot of cinnamon
No
because cinnamon's
actual
kind of a
wink in
theme
that.
today. And I only had a little bottle. I wanted to use it all, but you can use way less. We usually use way less cinnamon than this. So.
Okay. So equal parts?
And clove. Clove we use in some blends as well. And when the oil, yeah, equal parts are. I didn't say the amounts because I don't want people to get caught up in what I'm doing because I'm literally just making it up. And if you go to make a blend like this, I suggest you literally make it up. Use your gut instincts.
Gut instinct.
And
Got
just
it.
go. And sometimes, this is going to turn off some scientists, but sometimes when I swear to you, this happens over and over again. You do it like this, and you can see it like, like it really wants to be in there, and sometimes it's like drip,
Yeah.
drip. And I swear,
And
I
then
had.
you'll- yeah.
That really happened.
It
Yeah,
really
and I've
does.
done 2 vials like this, one for me and one for my best friend Randa, and I'm making a blend for us, and I'll go like this, and for me it's like drip, 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 and I go over to her and it's like drip, drip. And trust me, I'm an engineer. I would have totally called BS on that 5 years ago. I would have made fun of me for even saying it, but now I believe it, so that's what it
It's
is.
true. So that was what kind of I was getting at earlier with the study of the guy who did the intentional work and how it affects water, which is really cool tying to what she
Dr.
does.
Moto.
Yeah, and I don't know if I should introduce you, I guess, really quick, since I'm about to talk about her. This is Giselle, and we love her. She's one of our favorite intuitives. She owns Satsuma Energetics here, and so she does a lot of intuitive work. And one of the cool things that she does is these crystal vials. I keep mine on me at all times. Got this special bag just for it because can't have any. It's like a tiny vial, and I'm like, I don't know how to carry it. I keep losing it. It's been a really sad process, but it's safe now. But what's interesting is, so when you put intention into the water, and then they did these little vial tests, and they made slides, basically each slide had the same snowflake at the end when it was set with a certain intention. And then after that, the intention changed, and so there were beautiful snowflakes, and there were really hideous snowflakes. But it just confirmed how much how weak the bonds are of water, that we can actually, with our own thoughts and that energy pattern, can influence the structure of the water patterns. So, and that, again, reverberates and can affect outside if you really solidify it, which is kind of what she does with her water vials, which is amazing. So, what's next?
I think we're done. I mean, we said we were going to keep it brief, and I think we're under 40 minutes, maybe. Who knows? I wanted to mention one more thing. I wanted to circle back to the pudding. If you're a true cacaoist, it's totally cool to take the actual beans and just throw some in the pudding. And it'll just be crunchy and...
It'll be like cacao nibs. So basically,
and you can break them into pieces and then put it in there.
Yeah, when you buy cacao nibs at the store or whatever, that's what these are. It's just breaking up. You just break it up, and it basically falls into little bitty pieces. And then you can also use, as he was saying, a mortar and pestle, and you can like smash them up, and it'll create a really smoother consistency that you can turn into a powder as well. Or you can, using like a coffee grinder or something, you can also make a powder out of it. So,
right.
Cool.
Yeah, and they were saying there's some marks on my face. One of the things I do in class is I'll take oregano and put it on my forehead, and then show my forehead later so that people get it. Like, this is real. Like, this can really hurt you. And I don't recommend anyone doing that, because some people, even putting it right here, it'll like cause areas where you need to like go to a doctor or something. It's real mean. My skin is pretty tough generally. But yeah, so if you're making a romance blend, back off on the hot oils. So let's talk about hot oils real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. So oregano is hot. Cinnamon and its sister cassia, there's like tons of ways to say that one.
So Ceylon versus
Cinnamomum cassia. Huh?
Okay, cassia versus Ceylon.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's a cassia oil, and that's hot as well. And then you got lemongrass is relatively hot. You can pass around lemongrass if you want to smell it. Pass that one around. Lemongrass is on the hotter side. Tea tree can be hot for some people. Thyme can be hot for some people. Clove for some people. And I think that's about it. But there's charts you can look at. I mean, basically, there's this book called 10 Rules. What's that?
Peppermint can be a little
For
hot
some, yeah.
too.
For some, 10 Rules of Essential Oil Safety. And like I said, don't trust me. If you, especially when you're dealing with kids, you'd want to dilute them if you're going to put them on their skin. Most people don't say you should give, consumable oils to kids under 12 or so. Especially pregnancy, you want to be very careful with pregnancy. So just do your research. I mean, these are medicines. These aren't toys for kids. These are plant medicines. So you need to really understand what you're doing. And like I said, some people that are really intelligent say you shouldn't drink them at all, no matter how good they are. So do your research. Kind of like gold, colloidal gold. I love it. I drink it, but I don't recommend anyone drink it unless they do their own research. You drink it? It's awesome.
I know. I need to drink more of it.
What brand do you recommend?
For colloidal gold, I get Ormus from this guy in Canada, Kevin Hay.
Yeah.
And I drink that. But there's a store in Houston that has 30 ppm colloidal gold.
Okay.
Brand. Amazon.
Right.
Cool. Well, thank y'all for joining us. Thank
you
everyone
for joining
here,
us.
and thank you for joining us on YouTube as well. Please subscribe and all that jazz. And if you want to play with some Ameo oils, holla at whoever shared this video with you, or myself, someone like that. I think that's all I got. Thank you for joining forces. This was super fun.
It was.
We kept it brief.
Check in soon for another one.
Nice.
Bye, guys.
Oh, and Tribe Collective, moving locations in Lafayette. They're going to be
Moving
at
locations.
Pinhooken University.
Pinhooken University,
Very cool.
behind the Chevron.
Evolve, y'all.